This is the Get Real Clinic podcast with Dr. Masterson.
Welcome to the Get Real Clinic podcast. I'm so glad that you're here. We understand that in order to get really great outcomes, really great results, we've got to be able to get real in clinic. And what I mean by that is dealing and interacting and having relationships with other people while we deliver care to people. And today we're talking about one of my favorite topics, drama at work. Why do we find ourselves consistently in the same patterns of behavior? The reason for that is we typically find ourselves in patterns of behavior that we've learned long ago. And we all come into work as human beings modeling the same relationship styles we've always seen. So I'm going to talk to you about something called the drama triangle today. There was a very well-known psychologist back in the 60s named Stephen Karpman who coined this idea called the drama triangle. And what it looks like is each of us takes on a personality or a persona in times of difficulty or stress or conflict. It's either the victim, the villain, or the hero. What those look like specifically, I'll take some time to break down in each category for providers and staff. But what I want you to understand before we even start this discussion is this is a personal journey in development. Obviously, it works best if everyone on the team is engaged. But I can promise you this, if you personally, especially if you're in a leadership role or a significant role of any kind, will start to work your way through these ideas and get out of these bad habits that lead to drama that we all can identify, the team will follow. Your leadership will follow. And a lot of times in healthcare, I hear the same phrase, which is, why would I even try to get better or change? Because no one above me, no corporate board or leader or CEO is going to care. That doesn't change the opportunity that you have in front of you as an individual to improve your ability to deal with people. If you get better, it is impossible for your life not to get better and the people around you not to get better. Even if it's in your little teeny team at work, whether you work for a large corporate healthcare system or a little small private clinic, I hope that you at least lean into this, because not only will your relationships at work get better, but your marriage will get better, your relationships with your kids will get better, all human to human interactions. So let's dive in. All right, so what does the drama triangle look like for staff? And I've been there. And when I was a phlebotomist or a tech in the hospital, I felt a lot of this all the time. Here are the primary pain points, right? We're nice on the surface, everything's good, but deep down we don't like the people we work with. We're not going to say it. Or we avoid hard conversations because we believe in the fool's choice, right? We think that if I have a difficult conversation, I'm going to lose that friend. Or I'm afraid to speak up because then everybody's going to think I'm a negative Nancy, right? Or I feel like I'm carrying all the weight myself and I can't tell anybody that I'm overwhelmed. If you feel those pain points, then you're probably stuck in the drama triangle or drama cycle. So how to identify what part of the drama cycle or drama triangle we find ourselves in? Because no one really has one persona or one idea. And I'm going to be really clear right before we get into this. And that is, everyone struggles with this in some relationship. And you can probably identify this behavior in multiple. Yes, you can identify at work, but even in romantic relationships, in parental relationships, in parenting relationships. Whereas, you're being blamed for something, or you're being criticized for something, and then you immediately take on the victim role, right? How dare you criticize me for this? I've got so much going on right now, right? Or you don't even know what my perspective is. How dare you, right? We find ourselves filling these personas just naturally because we've seen it modeled for us. And I want to encourage you, there can be a lot of discouragement in the healthcare space because we can have the belief that it doesn't matter, right? I can't tell you how many times when I was working as a tech, I wouldn't say anything in a clinical workspace because I was like, well, if I say anything, it's not going to matter. Yes, this process is atrocious, and yes, this system is stupid. But if I say that, they're just going to think I'm negative. I'm not going to say that. Nothing's going to be different, right? I want you to know the goal of doing this is not to change external. It's to change you internally. Because if you change you internally, that change is going to metastasize. That change is going to start to grow within the clinic. I'm like, whoa, something's going on with them. I want to learn more. And hopefully you can generate discussions about this podcast or even just this idea in general. So what does it look like if you're going to work on yourself and you find yourself in the victim role, right? The victim role is that I'm underappreciated. It's not fair. No one ever listens to me. And this is so appealing to us because it's negativity. It's if you think about, you watch television, what are the most appealing TV shows? It's this negative interaction. It's who said, she said, can you believe it, right? That is appealing to us psychologically, and it's great for entertainment, terrible for workplace and cultural dynamics. So the victim mentality typically says things like, what are we doing here? I'm burnt out, I can't even do anything. The villain mentality would say something like, gosh, if people would just do their job, everything would get better around here, right? If the doctor wouldn't reschedule clinic the last 5 seconds, we would be fine. Or if the NP would just spend 5 minutes in the exam room and keep the things moving, I think we'd all be fine. Or if that nurse would just learn how to do a shot or learn how to drop a medication like she was taught or he was taught, then we'd all be fine, right? It's blaming. It's being critical and saying, and not saying anything, but just being negative toward them, and it affects their psychology, it affects your psychology, and more importantly. And finally, the hero is, you know what, I'm just going to do it all. And lean in on this, okay? This is really important. I cannot tell you how many nurses, MAs, LPNs that I've met in my career who have so deeply taken on this persona that has ruined them psychologically. And what I mean by that is MAs, because of your personality type, and I'm talking about nurses too here, most of those personality types are very helpful. And so it's really easy to fall into the hero mentality. And if you see something wrong in clinic, I'll just do it myself. It's fine. I'm not going to actually say you're not doing it right. I'll just fix it for you. Yeah, do it wrong 100 times, I'll just fix it for you, right? Or, the doctor can't ever figure that out. I just do it for him. Or I just do it for them. Or I just do it for her, or whatever, right? If you don't acknowledge that behavior, you're going to burn out. And I cannot tell you how many people that have burned out, left, quit their jobs because they haven't ever acknowledged that they're inappropriately finding personal fulfillment in doing something they shouldn't be doing for someone else. It's not part of your job description, or it's not helping the team. So what do you do if you find yourself in one of these ideas or personas continually, or you find yourselves in this drama cascade continually? Well, it's going to sound like I'm stuck, I'm always blaming someone, or I'm always trying to take over. So if you find yourself being the victim, right? No one ever listens to me around here. I'm underappreciated. One of the things we always say when we hire a new team member, especially if this new team member is a clinical support staff person or even a provider, and they've been in clinical medicine, we always put them through something called a detox program, right? We say, hey, the culture here is a little different. We don't do drama. Right? We approach it differently, or we're really honest with people, or we don't like to talk behind each other's backs, or we're going to be honest with how we think about you, and it's nothing about you personally, it's going to be about your performance. It takes a long time for somebody to really understand that, wow, like, this isn't about me. Like, this is about my performance, or this is about how I didn't do something well. It has nothing to do with me as a person. People often have to go through that detox program in order to fully understand that we absolutely care about you as a human, but it takes time to get out of that ideology and that framework. And it can be an emotional roller coaster to walk through that. But if you move personally, psychologically from, okay, maybe I'm not underappreciated here, but maybe I just haven't had time. I'm going to learn how I can get better, or I'm going to learn what I'm missing or what I don't understand and try to improve myself, moving from the victim to the learner. If you find yourself the villain, right? Gosh, I'm not going to say anything. Let's be honest. That corporate board that's 6 states away is never going to listen to my idea. Nothing's ever going to get approved. Why would I even speak up? Once again, you're not doing it because you want to fix the system. You're doing it because you want to start to fix you, because it's going to make your relationships better in general. You're going to move from that villain to the coach. Hey, I keep noticing we make the same mistake as a team every time. And maybe that manager's going to look at you and be like, don't tell me what we're doing wrong. I didn't ask for your input. I'm not saying it disrespectfully, but I am saying that, hey, instead of criticizing, I'm going to try to coach a little bit. Because I know if I can coach in a difficult relationship that may not be reciprocated, man, I'm going to be a great coach in the relationships that will be reciprocated. And finally, if I find myself being the hero, and this is where I want the staff to lean in, you're always fixing it. You're never telling anybody they did anything wrong. You're never actually trying to, say, hey, that's not how you do that. You're fixing it for them. Or gosh, the doctor's never going to do the charts on time. Let me just go fix the charts for him, right? Or them, or him, or her. Ask yourself, why can't I learn a little bit more? Be the detective. Go from hero to detective. What am I doing that I shouldn't be doing? Maybe I can educate someone else to do this. Maybe I can equip someone else to learn how to do that system or that process. I can think of one employee that has worked here and still works here for a long time, how long it's taken me to work through, hey, what happened in that situation? Well, this happened. Well, did you tell them they did it wrong? No, I just did it for them. Okay, why? Well, I just didn't want to be unkind. Okay, and taking that and moving it into the space of, I'm teaching people, I'm encouraging people, I'm helping people get better and grow. And to see the personal fulfillment that comes from that is way more fulfilling than the lie that fixing everything for everybody is more fulfilling. And once again, we're gonna work through what does it look like when I actually finally break out of the drama triangle in just a second here, but I want you to understand this more importantly, okay? The reason you're doing this, the reason you're working on this, and if you're watching this podcast and your provider's watching it and you're going to talk about it later, man, what a powerful opportunity in the clinic. But if you're doing this, understand that's why you're doing it. You're doing it for you. Because if you can start to identify personally, okay, I'm acting like the critic. I'm acting like the victim. I'm acting like the hero. How can I become more of the coach, more of the detective, more of the learner? You're going to get out of that mentality in every relationship, and you're going to get better in every relationship. And maybe that it doesn't shift immediately at work, but it's going to shift immediately personally for you. And I'm so excited to hear about you working on that. So again, don't be dismayed, because there's so much burnout in healthcare right now that if I'm not even going to say anything, I'm not even going to do anything, it's not make a difference. It will make a difference. It'll make a difference personally in you. So what does it look like when you get out? It's you can be calm instead of tense in times of feedback. You can take action instead of waiting or complaining about something. You work with your team and not against them or around them. There's unity. You laugh more, you learn faster, and you can feel in control of what you can control. Every great team is full of people who take ownership and take care of themselves and definitely take care of each other. Thanks so much for watching this part of the Get Real Clinic podcast. If you like this, please subscribe, give us a review, and also share this with a friend. It helps us in the ratings because we want to help as many people really get real so that you can have great outcomes and great results. Thanks for joining us.